Ready? Whoa, what? Damn. All right. Hopefully, audio coming through. Visuals. Firing up painter. It's another stream, and I've had quite a day. Hope everybody is doing good out there. Had a good Christmas. I'm picking up where I left off, which is, I don't remember. Okay, well, we can revisit yesterday. Ooh, there's me. A little bit of deja vu. Streaming the old sketcheroo of the strike this pose. Sketcheroo of, I should do this, the me admiring me, and then it'll be me admiring me. Here, let's do a little screenshot of this. Ka-chink. And we'll keep that going for posterity as we revisit me revisiting the revisits. But this could be fun. Of course, we're not drawing again what we did last night, but there is a plethora of interesting subjects to draw. And, you know, I'll take a second to think. I know I often rail against thinking, but I also abhor needlessly drawing when you could be mentally drawing, mentally visualizing. But of course, if we're looking at a drawing, we're just going to think about the drawing. So we need to put away the drawing. Let's look at a crazy, extremely bright image of the, like, shit. You can get close to this stuff. It's like insane. What would be the next good option to draw for our little Zelda continuance? I can spitball a few ideas. There are, what if Link was in the Gerudo Valley? Is that right? What's the one with the desert? There's, what if Link is at Lake Hylia? Or, should we draw Hyrule Castle? Some detail about Death Mountain, the Lost Woods. We've already done a kind of graveyard scene. I'm like scanning around my Link to the Past map that lives in my head. The Frozen Palace of the Dark World is a fun option. Karikoko Village. Kariko Village? It's tricky. I don't necessarily love crowded scenes, but I'm not against it. Zoras could be fun. retrieving a specific item. And it's okay. No one has to say anything. We can do anything. I may just, especially if no one's around, just fuck around and make a composition and then retrofit it to where I think it might have a sense of purpose. Would that be good? Let's look through these song title names. Fairy Fountain, Dark World, Lost Woods, Song of Storms, Minuet of Forest, Gerudo Valley. I feel like that was the desert, but maybe it's not. Oath to Order, Dragon Roost Island, Kakariko Village. Oh, fuck. Ballad of the Goddess, Breath of the Wild, Hateno Village. What is that? Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Zelda's Lullaby, The Great Sea, Korok Forest, Cass's Theme, Serenade of Water, Hyrule Castle. You know, we rarely get through the entire playlist, if ever. It might be something fun to try. Today my cat had a medical misadventure, had to go to the vet. He's 14 years old and normally spry, but lost a lot of weight recently and is not looking so good. He has an intestinal something, and today we finally doubled down and said, here's the money, tell us what he needs medication wise, kind of thing. And so starting tomorrow will be a fun, I'm just anticipating interrupting the stream mid puke to help out my wife, but we'll see, maybe we'll get lucky. Despite all that, I'm grateful, and we can. Here's the cat in question, the Sir Hugh. Here you go. This was in 2013-14. I digitally painted this. This is free AI, free everybody else doing it. My cat says Elizabethan royalty. Alrighty. Alright. Well, while I was procrastinating, something kind of popped up in my head. And unfortunately for those bored of them, it's a dynamic composition. Ooh. Ooh, that's a little intense. Hang on. It's not quite right. Okay, there we go. Sometimes Painter has this glitch where the first strokes that you make with it will be at more or less legacy settings of default intensity. It doesn't know how to process them. But now it's working. Okay. And that's a little too Dutch. But what I'm drawing is the horizon line. And you can see that I freehand pretty much all my lines so that you get this living curve. Tells you humans were here. All right. That's great, but we need it lower. All right. This may be a desert scene. I'll try to draw this without reference. We'll see. Let's challenge ourselves today. What I see in my head that I like. Okay, the other day, I was actually watching a stream. Some random guy. Did you know Zelda has all these hacks and ROMs or whatever ports of people will go through the original Ocarina of Time or whatever was the derivatives, and you can randomize things and then compete with other. I guess they're competing with each other to find the path to solve that randomization before the other people do. That's my best guess is what's going on. Mostly these people are smoking weed and chatting and saying, "Did I get that item yet?" No, but hey, that's one way to do it. But he was in a place I didn't recognize and fought an enemy that was familiar, but I didn't recognize from Ocarina of Time. I think it's called the Leever, which is just this sort of spinning, spongy dust mound with spikes. Oh my god. I'm gonna draw it wrong, but it looked like a chewy gummy bear artichoke that sort of spun out with like a fun cloud of dust. And so what could be fun is if I think it's the Leever. I'll look this up before I go too far, but this kind of thing is a little familiar. It's probably kicking up dust this way, leaving a dust trail this way, making a sound. Motion line's going this way. Well, as it does that, and of course it spins, which is like impossible to draw. But we'll have some lines to more or less indicate. And then, what if we had a fun Link in reverse kind of? I like the idea of shit. Okay, 1 minute. Bear with me. While the enemy is going one direction, Link is dodging in the other direction, but also slashing with his sword in the direction of the enemy where it's going. That's a fun wheat kind of composition. And Link is going to be in or would it be more like that? We'll see. It makes sense to me, though, that one way or another, Link is lunging. It feels a little close. Ooh. But now I actually liked it bigger. And maybe This guy's bigger too. I like the idea, which was kind of represented in the sometimes cringe original of Zelda, the original Legend of Zelda animated series, that Link and Zelda have normal human proportions and the monsters themselves are ginormous, which sort of echoes the, you know, Link having childlike proportions or elfish proportions, but also keeping them relatable to normal size humans. Yeah. I like the idea of emphasizing the jelliness of the lever. All right, let's look it up. Looks like a lever exists outside of Zelda. Leever. Oh, Leevers with 2 E's. Leever Zelda. There it is. Okay. A little different, but similar to what I had drawn. Here we go. Ka-chunk. All right. Hopefully we all see it's as big as I can make it. Damn, look at this fucking thing. It's like a sand jellyfish. So these bubbly booboses and these these are drawn like fish fins with snail bodies, and of course look at all these ooey gooey veins. Ooh, you love to hate it. Now take a good look, because it's going up here. Whew. You can tell when I put shit up here because it fucking blinds me here. All right. It's a funny, whirling, spinning, snailing, spinning machine are these levers. And what I thought might be spikes, and maybe at some point they were, but these are good old harmless, cancerous, swelling, about to burst growths on their lymph nodes, no less. And this shit is straight out of Cursed Earth. Veins. And it's tricky because when you add details to something that's moving, it actually stiffens it up. It makes it more arrested. because we don't see much detail on a moving object. In fact, if it's moving fast enough, it's literally invisible. Gross. You know, maybe Link gets a hit. Let's fucking spill out a bunch of guts or something. I don't know. It's not bad. It just has a... Weren't there... What if it looked like there was a fun sand hand here about to grab? What else? Could this be a fun sandstorm brewing? Distance here, and then over here beyond dunes, a faint community, and of course somehow grouping of hands coming, gripping. Didn't they have a bad guy that looked like this, roaming the desert? Fucking Link's sideburns fly off in an amazing thrust, side thrust. Of course, all this looks like a sketch done with a greasy finger on a paper napkin, but it may have some potential. All right, well, if this is a desert dwelling, then it has to have long, irregular bamboo sticks sticking out with flags attached. So you know there are people there. Defiant. And not the enemy. Just making shit up now, but something about that feels familiar. Even further in the distance, you could get... I feel like Death Mountain could be visible from whatever angle you were looking at in Hyrule. You could just look in the distance and just see the faintest silhouette of Death Mountain. There's a... So, in a couple days, I'm going to Alaska. And the last time I went to Alaska, which was 2 years ago, I was driving around in Anchorage, and I was like, what is that mountain? And I pointed to it, and he's like, that is... What is it? It's... Well, it's called... It was renamed, and is now Mount Denali. And Mount Denali is the tallest mountain in the northern western hemisphere Yeah, something like that. That's fucking tall, because from Anchorage, I could see Mount Denali. That was, I think he said it was something like 300 miles away. And I could see this fucking thing like it was 100 miles away, or 50 miles away, or even 10 miles away. It's right fucking there, and it is a tall ass son of a bitch. So that's like me seeing from here in LA to San Diego. Fucking nuts. Jesus Christ. So, anyway, if Death Mountain, not Mount Doom, but Death Mountain is a tall and fearsome object, it should just sort of be ever present, even ever so slightly, in all the drawings, at least of the exterior. Just a little bit of smoke. You can barely see this shit, but that's what that is. Well, what if we flopped and checked our work? It's pretty good. I think I want to size link down and move over the lever to the left. Now you can see, so Link is left-handed with his sword. So this is actually the proper composition. I suppose it could be that the whole thing got flipped this way so that, what if the horizon was running here? Let's just see. What if it looks better? There, let's save it. We are at half an hour into the stream. We can... Ooh, no, we don't replace. What is this? There we go. It is 12/26, 2023. Leever. That's enough. All right. This won't be a commitment, but let's see what happens. Do we like it? Like this kind of image. You know what? Kind of do. I like it. Yo. And I like it because it let me get wider, which I tend to need to do with the composition. Because I'm always, it's a default thing for me because it's easier. It's just easier to draw close-ups than wide shots. There's so much more things. This is not Majora's Mask, or it with the Skull Kid. This is not Skull Kid. Everybody dogpiling. First chime chatter. KT Cat Games. Hello. Oh. Whee. We're all meat. So you guys need to introduce yourselves to me. I'm hoping to work my way to the inner circle of cool people. I love everybody. You mod for my brother. I hope you're kicking people off for not using enough profanity and Discord. Will you seat up my Discord? Because I don't know what that is. Katie Cat. Thank you for joining, and bring all your friends. Today we're if this is Majora's Mask, because earlier in the stream, no, I'm the handsome one. Yes? No? Yes? No. But really, this may be from the Majora's Mask. I've never played Majora's Mask, and I was watching a stream where this guy popped up, the Leever, and now I know him from the original, and you know, and I'd love to spend my life playing video games, you know, but if I can draw them instead, maybe that's just as good, you know. All right, well, now that I have people looking and scrutinizing, I have here, this is why it's better to draw wider, because things farther away can be bigger and more accurate in relation to characters. And it's okay to admit that you're wrong, because you can be right and humble at the same time. The exactness, we almost just died in our game. What game are you playing? Lethal Company. That sounds cool. Now, is that a like D&D game? Like you died and you never get to live again, so it's super important? Or you died and you just hit restart and it's not a big deal? And I don't have a... That's fine. Okay, good. Because I don't want to mourn your passing. Without context, of course. Okay, now help me think of something that goes here. Here, I'm circling this. Are you playing a game and watching my stream at the same time? It's cool if you are. Just, that's a lot. Well, I love you. Thank you. It's not that I couldn't have survived on my own, but the presence of lovely people to help me out is much obliged. Something could go here, and it could be one of these. See, I think you guys have superpowers to do so much. Okay, here's what I'm thinking right now. Is I know in A Link to the Past there exists guys that look like the sand creature, like Sandman. They can like form out of sand and grab you. That's what's happening here. I doubt you could even see this, but I'm about to make things a little more clear. And over here, there are these Sarlacc-like creatures, if you understand my Star Wars reference, where mostly these are sunken sandworms. Link's leg could be dipping into the sandworm pit. His other leg is being clutched by the sand form anthropomorphic creature. This is Link. It's like we can barely see him. Dodging, strafing, if you will, while slicing This fucking sword going this way. This other lever that is just spitting the shit out of itself. The distance over here. What is it? The Arabic word for a sandstorm. It's like a badoon or something crazy. But they look cool, and that was something in the Fury Road, Mad Max Fury Road. And then over here, these sort of desert-dwelling pueblos. Stacked remnant cities that sort of pile on each other, going up and up beyond some sort of stone gate. And then Death Mountain, somewhere in the distance, is blowing his cool. That's a lot going on. That feels like a fun, challenging kind of composition. Alright. I know you guys are multitasking, so don't even worry about it. I appreciate you even, like, bothering. I love it. Alright. One thing I'm going to do real quick is save. And then unify. And now we can start taking shortcuts. Let's get to about 50%. That's pretty close. You see this thing. Let's look around here and find the darkest tone, which is probably here. That's not intentional, that's just fact of life. And so here you can see what it will be when I click on it. Let's see. Ooh, all right. We were already really dark with, where did I click? Here. So that's it. That's the same as that. So we can go darker, but ever so just, to get to 50%. I'm going to shrink-a-dink this whole thing. Oop. There we go. All right. So, one more multiply layer. That's at least it, and if not too far. Let's see here. That's too far. So we go 50%. That's about right. And I don't need to hunt down the exact number, but that's about halfway. 131, 131, 131. So that means it's pure gray because all those numbers are the same number. But the value is, let's see here. Well, what's the maximum? Probably 256, right? Yeah, how did I know? There we go. 256, 256, 256. If it'll even go there. 255, 255, 255. Is that right? No, wait a second. 250. No, 255, 255, 255. No, wait a second. All right, never mind. I'm no color genius, obviously, but the when all those numbers are the same, the red, green, and blue are balanced. That's gray, or white, or black, or somewhere in between. The number that is halfway between so let's see, 255 divided by 2. 255, nope, divided by 2. So 127.5. So we took this to 127 as opposed to 131. That's middle gray. where we are at now is close enough. Oh, wait. Here we go. Crank that to 50. Let's see where this gets us. I'm always curious. Sometimes I wonder if I can guess right. 131. It's still not good enough, but it's about right. Okay, we'll leave it. Oh, shit. No, I need that. Color, come back. All right. But be much smaller. There you go. Okay. This, right now we have like a halftone sketch. I don't know. Shit. But it's, even though we don't know what everything is going to look like, we can kind of fudge the rest. And we don't need perfection in order to get an idea, a good amount along the way, and then double back when and if it's necessary to pull up an idea. Going to sort of start painting with tone a bit. We could think about shadow. This is a desert scene. A desert scene is going to be bright. It's going to have harsh shadows. It's going to be rough, gritty. We don't need softness. We can make bold decisions, like we know where the sun is and where should the sun be. Excuse me. The sun, compositionally, for maximum interest, well, I mean, it could be in two places. It could be here. Obviously, the sun has to be somewhere in the sky, which is anywhere up here. So, sun could be here, just beyond the exploding dune that is creating a sandstorm. The filtered light would be incredible. Or the sun could be setting behind the settlement structures over here. It could filter through these flags, get this fun filtered light. And in either case, it could filter through the structure of this gelatinous creature. Get a sense that it was glowing. Like a jellyfish or a jello mold would in the sunlight. And thank you. Yeah. You know, what I do is I talk and I tell myself, you know, I take direction more than I get to give direction to a 99.9 versus 1% degree. So in this project, I get to direct myself, but it's sort of like this what is it, a dialectic kind of thing where you talk to yourself. And I have to simultaneously coax it out of myself, and then, you know, isn't this how humans think? It starts that way. You know, say people that talk to themselves, they come from money. Is that right? We should be so lucky, but they come from money, or they're literally insane. We should consider that. I think I've heard that thing before. It's resonating a little bit. So I don't come from money. I come from mentally ill people who have hacked their neurodivergency. They've sort of biohacked themselves. Both of my parents have predilection for controlled substances and or self-abuse to and I'm no exception. Wherein we take your pick, deprive yourself of food, deprive yourself of sleep, deprive yourself of control, and sort of watch in the sidelines as our bodies react by defending ourselves with creativity somehow. And we basically hallucinate for a living, and that's what's happening here. So, and probably you do too, to a lesser or similar extent, if you can make yourself in this crazy world. All right, I'll stop winging it and get back to the drawing situation. Here we go. We are shading wherever the sun comes from. It's mostly on the upper half of the horizon. So whatever is lower can have shade and then cast a shadow. Okay, on occasion I have to crank my music a little bit. Oh shit, I'm at the top. All right, hang on. I can't get any higher without cranking it up for you. Listen, I know good Zelda music when I hear it. And it's a hack, not a bug, that I squint when I'm drawing on these things, because I don't want to see the details. I want to see the I want my body to have an intuitive feel for what is being described. It's like inducing the HLG. Fix it in seconds. How would you do that? Hold on, drawing stop. How would you stop it so that the auto mod is... Do I have to give you my password? The seconds are ticking by. Open a new Twitch window. Nope. Okay, here. Shut up. Okay. A new Twitch window, like in a browser. You walk me through it. Thank you. I appreciate this. Okay. Here's... Okay. I don't want to show you my Twitch. Or should I? Anyway, okay. I don't want to show you my Twitch.
Fuck.
Or should I? Anyway,
no.
Terrible. Okay. All right. Very good. What do? I have it open on my second monitor. Going through it on your end. You tell me. Click your dashboard. Oh, shit. Is that up here? Creator dashboard. Okay, I see it. I'm nearly halfway to 50 followers, by the way. This is quite the achievement for me. Go to the settings on the left panel. Settings. New. Okay, I see it. Stream channel moderation. Oh. Auto mod rule sets. This is calling to me. Am I on the right track? Some moderation. How about none? Ooh, low. Auto mod is off. Did I do it right? Yes. Okay. Look at all these things. Aggression, bullying, disability, sexual IT, sex or gender, misogyny. No more messages. Nailed it. All right, listen. I don't need babysitting. Should such a troll or such thing invite themselves... Shit. I just dropped my pen. Hang on. grunt like a little man. Picking my shit up off the floor. Okay. The, well, I mean, I do need babysitting, but the, what is it? Chatters or whatever. Anybody pops their head in to, well, like as if a bot would ever give me the time of day, but the, people who discuss things that I don't like, I won't say, but the, like, what don't I like? I don't like the way Blazing Saddles ended. I'm passionate about that. And, what else? That's it. I'm a Mel Brooks fan. I just didn't like the way Blazing Saddles ended, you know. But my brother knows that there are things that will trigger me, and I will let loose. I won't be able to stop. The ending was the worst part. It was the fucking funniest movie ever, and then they're just like, what if we just ended like it was a Monty Python film or something? To a lesser extent, I didn't like the way Holy Grail ended. But, like that, I understand they literally had no money. You died. Okay, there's other things. If I, like my wife will tell you, if people start talking about AI, I just start ranting. I don't want to do it, so I'm not going to do it. This is about doing things. There's no AI on this chat. On the whatever. That's a perma ban. The hey, do AI. I'm like, no. What else don't I like? I don't know if I like Modern Simpsons. But I haven't really watched it much, so I don't know. But they're just sort of like, I'm a old-fashioned guy. Human art, yeah, exactly. And honestly, bring it on, AI art. You know, show me, draw shit like this, with all the complexities and whatevers. You know, yeah, maybe they will, but I can copyright this with Nintendo's blessing, at least. All right, we're being a little too slow. Thank you for preferring AI art. No, human art. The squinting. The sandpit is like a swirl of mashed potatoes. So I think I like the idea of the sun being here, which I won't draw like that. I'll try to draw it like real light coming through. But I'll start to make decisions based on that. All this is good. That means this edge of the stuff is going to be in shadow. That all the sky away from the sun is going to get progressively darker if there's nothing to reflect off of it, which there might be. But for now, go like that. In this instance, it's getting a little dark, but we can fix that later. And Katie Cat, thank you for helping me with that little fix. Hot local grandpa, next break you take, why don't you load it up with some profanity so we can see if the changes have taken place? Or can you only do it unintentionally? That would be a fun superpower, is like a unimpressive superpower is the ability to like inadvertently offend people, and all you're doing is like attempting normal speech, but you're just saying like, yeah, I hate kids, you know. Wait, no, that's not what I meant. It's okay if you hate kids, but you know, me and my speed lines being stupid. Since we know where the sun is going to come from, we can start layering the light. Every little hint we give ourselves will help us better to remember the decisions we've made. Streams of light, pathways. Little much, but really what we're doing, we're needing to do, is separate our values big time. So we go back to this version. Ooh, maybe this version. Yeah. I like these decisions. The information is there. But we have to force our values so we feel them where we want them. I'm just using the dodge and burn tool, but we can use it to separate out foreground from background. I'm getting fucked up a bit here. The Leever somewhere in the middle, not as dark as Link in the foreground. In fact, yeah, it's too dark. Can't be as dark. As Link in the foreground, and then in the background, especially here, this has to be light. It has to be far away. That's too much. Let's try a different tool. Instead of glow, we can use the screen tool. Oop. What happened there? There we go. Oh, there we go. Let's just go like that. Paint in the light as discreetly as needed. All of this is light. The brightest bits right here. And then bulbous translucent things have an interesting property where they'll be darker towards the light and then lighter away from it. Something like that, you know. It's thicker on the edges. And then the glowing can happen somewhere in here. Then it very quickly gets dark again. Only to sort of have another glow up towards the edges again. Now, one more. Little paint in. Because this was too light all of a sudden now. Let me go back. Paint in little bits of stuff. And a little more dodge and burn. But then the whole thing just needs more contrast. Oh shit, it's too much. There. I think one of my kids is awake and interrupting my wife tending to my cat. Okay. That about gets us there. And now, while this is far from perfect, the information is pretty clear. Where I'm not having a great deal of confidence is up here. Right here. This will be a fun exercise, but you know, like, okay, so there's some negative space here. Let's draw a fucking couple birds. You know, whatever. And then over here, it's like, whatever. There's a fucking star. You know. It's a desert. Anything's possible. He's on a spirit quest. What is he fighting again? It's a lever. L-E-E-V-E-R. It's like this spinning sand jellyfish. It mixed with a tremor. However, this came out before tremors. They have fish-like fins. The Leevers, yeah. Is that from Majora's Mask? You remember that? Because I only knew it from the original Zelda. Leevers are in most games. I remember them being notorious for giving like the most amount of like, if you defeat them, they give you like red rupees and shit. Just get like a ton of gold out of these guys. But we don't need the details. I'm curious about, you know, we can solve the finalities later, as we know. I don't want to run too late either, but one thing I'll try in this stream, be a little unique, is, you know, I'm constantly searching for where are the shortcuts? Not the shortcut's not the right word. The efficiencies. You know, if I can, without using pre-AI tools, can we make our lives easier? And one thing I've been learning over time is that the thinking of strokes, tonality, all color, all that stuff is, and the difference between one pixel's attributes and the next as like information is helpful. It represents decision making. Every little thing you do to differentiate one tiny corner. We zoom in, of course it blurs it, but for a brief second you can almost see the anti-aliased thing, but every bit of overlapping, the ebbing and flowing of, you know, it gets distracting, distorted and abstracting, but the every stroke going each which way had an intention behind it, representing a decision that we still see. And we can just be, well, here's my thinking is the there's a composite method for brushstrokes that I don't use much, except in special circumstances. But what's funny is it adds a lot of information. It's like synthetic, not in a bad way, in a good way. It okay, we needed to. It's a good demo here. If I draw a stroke, so I've got white color here, so I draw a stroke of white, but then I draw into it, then it's black. but then I draw into that, and it's white. And I draw into that, and it's black. I draw into that, it's white. And I draw into that, it's black. It's because it's getting the opposite. Look what's happening now. Kind of thing. Before you know it, it looks like a crossword puzzle. If you did this infinitely, you'd have snow, like the old CRT monitors. Information at its utmost is snow. Like visual information is just pure random stuff. The amount of hard drive space it would take to encode that, even at the most lossy compression, you know, you can't even do it, kind of a thing. Sort of a funny, abstract way of thinking about visual information. Anyway, if you use the tool appropriately or inappropriately, you can come up with interesting unintended happy accidents. Where have we heard that before? Right. You gotta be a little sparing though. Yeah, no genius. But here. Let's keep it all separate for now. So it's not all in the same layer. Because I might fuck a bunch of shit up, but we can also, instead of using white, use gray. And that is kind of a halfway point thinking. Ooh, maybe not light gray. What if it was dark gray? That's not right either. We need to it was just a glitch. Okay. All right. Well, maybe it wasn't a glitch, but let's simply draw the construction lines of the forms and see where it gets us in terms of detail. And they could be loose. So, okay, starting with Link. We know he's lunging. Since that's the case, should this shoulder be up more? I think it should, even though that's not my first instinct necessarily. This stuff can work counterintuitively. Defining the information in a crazy kind of abstraction. Now this is not going the way I thought it would. So very quickly I'm going to pull back a little bit and rethink, because the sketchiness is not quite right. Maybe it's the layer opacity that I need to work on. No. Jeez. All right. What's going on here? Glitchiness. Save. cool, but there's a cursor attached to my cursor, which is interesting. I'm gonna do my best to, let's just see if saving it, quitting out, and then relaunching, slim chance that'll actually help. And then I'll turn off some of these other things. Here we go. Okay, that seems to have helped. Well, since my initial hunch isn't necessarily panning out, maybe we... Let's try a different hack. Just... do my little shadow hack. And let's just try it foreground to background, just as an exercise. Here in the foreground, well, the shadow hack I use is basically just this kind of cheesy, I feel like it's trendy even, because I've seen it on Twitter. I picked it up off an artist off of Twitter. Random anime artist that got retweeted too many times. Probably been consumed into oblivion, but just basically finding the ultimate overlap for the thing in question, and then really accentuating the like what is the opposite of a highlight. Sort of hard to explain. In the in classes I've taken, they're like, that's the darkest darks or whatever. It's such a sort of melodramatic way of talking about something. Like it's magic or something, and it's not what it is. I'm really thinking about contrasts and what they serve. Different kinds of information, like overlapping and having these just in this random noise of these. Just zooming in, see what I'm drawing and how it can help, where you can see like that line or this line or whatever, and all that is kind of accidental, it's unintentional. But at this point I can hijack the noise and make it serve masquerade as intentionality. I'll intentionally capitalize on the unintentional. Wherever it makes sense. And ignore the rest. Sort of looks fun. Certainly more promising than adding information via the reverse out method, which I've experimented with before and had it work, and I'm not sure why it didn't quite go this time around. But this feels like it could pay off. So we'll keep up with it. But we've just used black, our darkest black, on the most foreground compositional element. So we need to move past it. We're just going to go up, let's say 10%. Just feel what that might be, which is that, I guess. This tone. Shit. This one, which is here somewhere, you know. And maybe it's wrong, but it's on its own layer. I can turn these on and off and make another layer to represent, as I was kind of discussing, it's like a negative highlight. These things for me are like tucked in the grooves and in the overlaps, and they really exist everywhere, even just in the shadow. If you think about it, everything that is material can cast a shadow. The individual atoms on a surface can cast shadows on the atoms that are directly beneath it, to like the thickness of a photon beam or some shit like that. That's at the atomic level. Now just think at the microscopic level, how many things are casting shadows. And then zoom out again, you realize it makes sense to be selective about what is casting shadows and where they go. Maybe we don't have to describe everything. Going blind here in the sand, describing forms that look like hands that are clutching. Link, his boots, leaping. I'm dead. I spawned outside a catwalk. Lethal Company must be... Is that an indie game? I've never heard of it. Good. Bless you for playing indie games. Link's boot, sort of feeling its way. Oh, I'm getting sucked into details again. I'm trying just to describe. It's kind of like black, dramatic overlaps. You're up to 4 players who work for the company in dystopian future as a scavenger who flies from planet to planet, gathering scrap to sell. If you fail to meet your quota, you're executed. Sounds rather like normal everyday life. Very survival horror. And we play this game to relax. Yes, yes. Yeah, that's you know, you either do what the syndicate tells you. Jeez. Do you fight aliens? Or is it like some levels might actually like not involve aliens and you're literally just like a grunt on a mining crew? Which is also cool. I saw that video game where you're like you like salvage dead spaceships but with like laser weapons and find weapons, but they're enemies you have to avoid if you don't find any. It's like the golden age of gaming is here and now. It's fucking crazy. Link's got his shield. They've given this guy a big face full of fucking shield. We definitely have to make sure that this sort of back thrust feels powerful. The scrunching of muscles and the whipping of hair and all the things. Get a nice fucking crazy elbow with weird tiny muscles attached to it. Link's arm can look like it's fucking repurposed driftwood. You know, oh shit. I'm not particularly amazing at drawing people using swords, but Link's arms have a vascularity unique among his people. It's like a road map. Should it be the Master Sword? I'm okay, a little generic right now. Maybe this is a little early on in the quest, but just realizing we need more long teeth in this one. That's a little better. Right there. What? How do you draw a fast-moving sword. Actually, would it go the other way with this hilt? It's probably more like this. Ooh, what happened here? Definitely drawn the link arm bigger than the link leg. Fix that maybe just a little bit. It's kind of cool, but let's just thicken up these limbs and be intentional. Now it looks like they're traversing similar amounts of space. Yes, no? If you guys spot shit like that, you gotta call me out on it. That's the whole point. I don't want to embarrass myself in public. Spot like what? Did you see what I did on the leg? The I can back up. The yeah, backing up. So okay, at this point we had this arm. Yeah, it's okay, no worries. It's actually pretty subtle. So if we look at this arm and this leg here, oh shit. I backed up and intended to like then go very good. Okay, so what's fun is that I can just redo the same thing. Basically, this arm in comparison to this leg looked too long, and that's because I drew them too skinny and looking too flat, the leg. But by indicating with intention thickness and direction of the leg here, now, yeah, so it's a subtle thing. I didn't lengthen the leg to make it longer. I just bent it in space and thickened it so that in proportion it felt better and to the length of the arm. Lincoln have thick thighs and a booty. You know, this is all this is good. That's all form, baby. We're here to cast shadows. There's some shit, but the I'm liking better the way the that's relating. Get that princess booty or whatever, I guess. There we go. I'm drawing like on a curve. This is me, you know, late at night after my contacts are all dried up, attempting to. Feels like something. Let's see. Is that right? But of course, I need to make this stuff look like it's really fucking going fast. Which requires a spray of blood and guts. You know, maybe even like this. Kind of reads as intended. Oh, fuck, I fucked up. I mean, I didn't do anything bad, but the, these shouldn't have been on the multiply. They needed to be like this. So let's see if we can get away with that. Okay, good. So it's subtle, but what I did was I just I made it so that the darkest darks on Link and this monster near him were not black, but dark gray, or very dark gray. And in fact, they can be kind of like this near the edge of Link. We can even get a kind of subtle transition. Decently dark there. Just making it look like the things that are farther away from our field of vision don't get as dark as the things that are closer. It's kind of a simple concept, but it helps separate the space. Clarifies things for the viewer. It's not necessarily real, like realistic, but it is it's helpful for a viewer to understand what they're looking at. I want it to look like, oh shit, it's getting a glitch again. Making it look we had a plan, even if we didn't. Oh shit. Ugh. I was drawing on the canvas. That's like the worst sin of all. All right. So I can see that we're in spitting distance of the last track on this album. So we'll go to it and then we'll call it a night. It's funny because you add the thinking, and the thinking that makes sense in one area can help the thinking that you weren't so sure about in another. It all starts to pull together. Whoa. Cranking my neck too much. I'm trying to like look at this thing like it's a I need to draw like this. Let's try it this way. There we go. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 3 is 18. So about 20 minutes left at max. I really am glad to have an opportunity to draw these. Even if it's like a self-serving, self-made opportunity, but I don't do a lot of projects personally for myself. Maybe it's not for myself. That could be the wrong way of putting it, but nobody told me to do this, which is amazing because I find myself compelled to do it. In a way that I haven't felt as motivated on some of my favorite projects where I've been paid. Here, just for the camaraderie, and then a little bit personal satisfaction in my own work. I can goof around, explore new techniques of execution and even just explanation, demoing. For its own sake. Sort of grotesque slice gets more glowy and gooey. You motherfucking Leevers. Feels good. close. Once again, flatten it all. Play with the rule. The dodge and burn tool works so much better in Photoshop. Yeah, damn. Don't. Sort of just do it by feel sometimes. Man. It's kind of cool, but nope. It's so funny. I'm like, was I really drawing this all day? It's too easy to indulge and get confused. Okay. Oop. Damn. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Do it again. Really start to separate the background now. Damn, it's getting late. Only a few more minutes left. Look at this fucked up, chewed over drawing. It can still redeem itself. I don't think I'm wrong. But not gonna go in my personal wall of fame. It's getting crunchy. Some of these. What can I do? Bring back sanity. Where did my details go? I'm just undoing in a panic, trying to figure out what the fuck happened. There we go. It's not wrong. It's just... This looks so good. You're so sweet. I'm here telling myself to kill myself. No. The I had it a little bit clearer earlier, and some things have lost their way, but not in a bad way. It's like the information's there. You're seeing cool things. You don't even know what you're looking at. Sometimes it's a not you, but you know, we can see there's cool things happening, even if we're not sure what's what. Although I remember what I intended for what. Okay, we're in the 5-minute mark of being done tonight. And this is one of my more abstract looking ones at this point. Despite everything it had going for it. You know, I know earlier I was sort of talking about shortcuts. And you know, shortcuts only are shortcuts if they save time or something, right? I love the idea, though, of embracing counterintuitive techniques. Like, even just what I'm doing right there is a little unexpected. Finding, using compositing layer methods to find, I mean, some of this stuff already is feeling sublime. That was very, like, this was all very spontaneous. Getting this weird, cool, energetic, sweeping, spraying, you know. Let's try my favorite brush, the mediocre sprinkle. Oof. It's like 300. Stars up here. Sand, dunes. It's just like intensity. Feeling like we're getting sprayed in the face with sand. what we don't have is a lot of specific detail. I remember down here, this was a guy with hands trying to grab legs. We can barely see that now. This lever have had all their details are gone. And this thing down here just looks like it's complementing the swirling energy of the sword slashing. But I think it's good. I think it's on its way. Through it, we tried to pay attention to things that looked wrong and things that looked right. No, I don't know. Is that looking better? Kind of like the high key version, like the brighter. It's like less black overall. You know. What's the secret thing that will give us all the things I want to see and hide everything I don't? The sand is an excellent touch. Finishing touch. And an excellent one, yeah. Like the, okay, here's the honest truth, is I put in, this is what happened, is I put in the speed lines. If you go back in the video, you'll probably see like 10 minutes in, I just felt like, let's make it look cool. Throw some speed lines on it, but that's like the last thing you do. And in this case, I did it way too early, and it threw me off. I think that's what it was. But this is we're near the 10-second mark, so this is where we'll end up tonight. Could have been better, but hey, worthwhile stab at the levers and all the things. And we're repeating, so. All right, I'm gonna save and say thank you. Katy Cat Games, if I guessed it right from memory. Where is it? I hate that I squint like Popeye on this stuff, but it's like I can barely see out of one of my contact lenses. Did she remove? There she is. Katy Cat Games. All right. New. Yes. I appreciate all the new, you know, it's not always all new, but it's like, this is cool. Like, cool people out there. And I fixed it. So now hot local grandpas can type fake. Everybody's got cool names. How did I just go with like my name for my name? That was dumb. We're all cheering for Katy Cat Games, and any new comers and chatters. All right, but straight up, I'm gonna say goodnight. This is saved. It will be revisited, and it was fun in the making. So I hit the stop button, and thanks so much, everyone, for coming by. Am I going to raid out? What does that mean? I stop a thing and I go transfer to another place? Is that what I'm supposed to do? I don't know what that is. Like, I know what it is when Boxer comes in with like a cohort of 62. And I have no idea what that... Bring us to someone else. Here's where I'm remiss, is I'm not sure what that... What does that mean? And also, like, I can't join you. Like, I'm gonna go and die in like a second. Where should I go? What would be the thing? The Is my brother on right now? Helps my channel grow? Is that really true? Helps them grow too. I like the kick it forward. All right. Well, Katie, Cat, Uncle Grandpa, are you streaming? Should I raid you out to you? And I will if that's the best option. Even if I can't join, I'll send the. It's like a panspermia, like life. You have a friend that's on. Who is your friend? Because this is how I will conduct things. Is Aidonomic. All right. Here I copied their name. Now what do I do? Walk me through this. I find it. You do a / raid space, then his name to raid him. / raid space, then his space, then his name. So / raid space. Is raid space one word or 2 words? Raid space. Raid anomic. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna do it. Raid. Okay. It's not letting me copy and paste, so I'm gonna top this out the right way. Raid space, but that's the space bar. Aid anomic. All right. Now, I'll only ask this once. Is this person like a good person and they're not like about to get canceled tomorrow? Cause no, I'm just kidding. Your endorsement is good enough for me, but the space is little. Yes, I'm gonna hit the button. We're gonna see what happens. Raid Aidonomic. The raid has been created. Oh, that's the way to go. All right, I did it. You were all there. Hey, thank them and thank you. And I love it. I'm like cross-eyed delirious. So I'm going to sign it off. But no, thank you with a big heart. Have a great night. All right. No, you. All right. I'm hitting the stop button and it's done. Peace out.